Hello everyone, and welcome back to hopefully I don't crash into the moon again, my rusty RP-1 playthrough. So, instead of crashing into the moon for the umpteenth time or launching interplanetary, we're going to try to launch our first human space mission. Well, our first human orbital mission, because we've actually gone to space before. So, let's hope that I have better luck with this than I have had in the past. I think it's all set. That is taking an awful long time. What other contracts? Right. So we're gonna fly a test mission with it, and we'll use this contract to pay for it. Got a year to do it. And assuming that all goes well, then we'll in fact finally send a human being into space. We now have a lot of cash. Let's spend some of that cash. That's better. Now if we finally reach the point where we're getting serious business build points out of rate 2, get twice the bang for the buck we get from rate 1, which means that follow-up Dolphin is going to get built fairly fast. Because in 63 days, it will be approximately a third done, which means it'll only be 100 days total to build it, instead of what it looks like it is. Hey Pap, good to see you. Figured I would get a short late stream in. Alright, let's do this. Well, what's our tax situation? 30 days to that. So we're going to fly, as is traditional. So it's highly historic with these campaigns. The hardware we're flying is nowhere near the hardware that we'll have researched. Because we're about to unlock... Oh, no, never mind. That's, yeah, so that'll just give us a specific impulse boost. It's this that gives us biprop, and it's way down there. I think I'm going to get the biprop RCS earlier. Should I go down? Yeah, let's. We're going to keep a little over 100,000. All right. Wow, that made a huge impact in the build, right? So it's going to be half done, which means it'll take only 90 days. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and fly this mission. We can roll it out to the cheap pad. No, not really the cheap pad. The moderately cheap pad. It is quite expensive. How's the training going, folks? All right. Completes in 3 months. When is that? 153 days. Actually, we'd better build our Venus things first. And it's just as well because this won't complete it. They won't be ready to actually fly the mission because training takes forever. because I don't. Oh, right. I was going to spend. Well, I really should upgrade the astronaut complex. I think that makes, if memory serves, upgrading the astronaut complex makes training faster, but I don't actually remember what I did with that. I think I would have done it like that. That seems the sort of thing I would do. Yes, no, I totally did, because the training for later stuff is prohibitively long unless you upgrade the astronaut complex. All right. $260. All right. A Mercury mission takes 75 days. Wow. All right. So I guess we're not flying. I guess we won't be actually. So I talked big about sending human beings into orbit, but it's not going to be for a couple episodes apparently, because training is impressive. But we can at least flight verify our hardware and then wait another 6 months before we fly an actual flight. Oh, looky that. Uh, so we're going to want to launch Dolphin right when everybody arrives in the Mars SOI. Lols. Maybe I should have rush built it a little bit so that it wouldn't be right at the 3 days. And that was a 72-hour warning. So let's schedule this for 1 hour. And that's now in 2 days. And yeah, so right. So we're just gonna, I guess, do a Mars arrival. Let's check in on Aphid-1. And I am not LPG, so I'm probably not going to manage a flyby of Phobos and Deimos. Oh yeah, and I was going to, yeah, it's just, the heck with it. We're switching to ComNet anyway, I would think. So soon signal delay is going to go away, so I'm just going to say the heck with it and turn signal delay off, because it just annoys me at the moment. Like, I've played enough times with it on, it doesn't really... I don't know. I've yet to think of how we can actually reasonably model probes in this game. There isn't a good answer. Remote tech. Alternative roles. Turn that off. So, all right, let's try this again. Hey, no, Mr. Bond. All right. So we're going to rotate. Until we have the solar panels and sunlight, which seems like that's pretty good. That's not unreasonable. What's our electricity rate right now? Charging. I love how negative rates are actually charging. Because Kerbal. First we can get rid of that. Next we can check how all this is going to shake out. So I think right, because Mars is moving quite quickly, and we're moving even slower than it, actually, such that in the frame of reference of Mars, we'll be coming in like this. Earth is ahead of us. Yes, so we actually want to perform a little maneuver to swap this to the other side of Mars, so we'll stay in comms. Hi, Pap. I apparently just answered your question. So that will keep us in comms for most of the thing. Should have done the maneuver earlier, but that's okay. So how badly... Ooh, that's a question. Yeah, here's a question for everybody. Can any... Oh, we can tell here. Good. Turn off sent guidance for a sec. 125. All right, so if we go down to 120, we should get some flying high science. And yes, that is a little slightly risky, but we have 2 of these probes, so who cares if I bang up one of them? So Science Alert, Next Science, and all those things don't require you to be in comms, which I cheated the heck out of in the previous time I was streaming. And yes, you're right that a real probe would have recorded its data over time. Which is why what I think is relevant going forward is something like where if you don't have comms, maybe you have some limited control, but you can still action group and stuff. But maybe not even that. Maybe you just can't transmit then. I don't know. Figuring out what's actually a reasonable gameplay solution to this is... Yeah. Oh, oops, I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's a bit low. That's about right. And you can't toggle SAS in map view. Oh, you can't toggle SAS because I'm in warp. go face the node. Did I miss it? I relied on MechJeb to orient me, but MechJeb apparently did not orient me correctly. Oh, right. Right. I made it on its prograde node, so of course it's right on prograde. All right. All right, we're going to kill off the maneuver node actually and just do it manually. All right. That'll do. We, interestingly enough, are coming in quite close to the plane of the moons, but not close enough. Where are you going to be then? Oh, no, this is in 4 days. So, yeah. I don't think we're going to hit any moons. I mean, I'll take it, but I don't think we will. All right. Okay, so we want to flip around so our things are in sunlight. We're actually getting better performance on them than I expected at this range. It's about a third instead of a quarter. I budgeted for a quarter. Actually better than a third. It's like 2/5. All right, so we'll stop there. Quit while we're ahead. What did that do to things? All right, it's back to how it was. All right. So now we're going to pass in front of Mars. Earth is out there. So that seems like it should be the wiser choice. What's that going to do to our orbit? I didn't really care. It's going to toss us down near Venus. That's interesting. I wonder if we could do a maneuver at aphelion to lower that, but the plane change would be expensive. I think we're probably out of plane with Venus. Yeah, we're out of plane with Venus. Okay. Oh well, that was kind of too good to be true. But we're sending probes to Venus anyway, so it's not like it matters. All right, so let's go hit the SOI. We had full electric charge. We are. That's good. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, Mars science. And I forgot to action group this. Telemetry analysis. Send that too. And let's get a biosample. Why does it not? Oh, I guess we already observed it. All right. Space high. All right, now my guess as to what would be correct was correct. So there's Earth. It's ahead of us. So I believe that means that only, let's line up on Earth. Like that. All right, so there will be a dead zone, I think, as we exit away from Mars. But while we're near Perry Aries, we'll be fine. All right, we're still aligned correctly. That's fine. All right, I'm going to burn a little because I don't want to go that deep into the atmosphere, actually. Yeah, I figure like 7 kilometers in. Probably just about right. So let's add an alarm to you. Ooh, I wonder if the map can tell us what space high is. Focus view. Does anyone remember what space high on Mars is? Because I don't. Because that is when we need to stop warping. I probably stuck it in RP-0. Science, body science params. Sounds about right. Body, Mars. Space altitude threshold is 5,000 kilometers. All right. So at an altitude of 5,000 kilometers. Right. Okay. Now let's check the rollout status of this. 6 hours, and that's in 1 day. Oh, Aphid 2 is arriving at Mars very soon. All right, so we're going to try to get a biosample from the Martian atmosphere, which will be really fun. Hey, we're doing a Mars flyby. Oh, right, that's the 3 days until SOI entry. But it's good I did that because I'm going to also want to do, well, let's look at what this looks like. If we come in behind, oh, I did this wrong. I should have had the other one come in behind because its biosamples were exhausted. Or just not exhaust the biosample. That would have been smart. Because I think I want this to actually come in behind. Because I want to get more biomes. So we're not actually going to adjust anything with this. Let's add an SOI alarm. 1 hour. That sounds better. Yeah, so I'll use the flight computer to do it for me, to be sure that it'll work. So let's stick this down into that's fine. 10 kilometers in should be all right. We can always adjust if the other thing has problems going 10 kilometers in. All right. Let's launch our orbital mission. Is a 15-day build time for a Mars-Venus capable rocket probe decent? That's interesting. Don't know what happened there. Probably a scatterer bug. Mine are taking 60 days, so I would say that's pretty decent, Pap, yes. But my build rates are not as high as you racers. My build rates are nowhere near as high as you racers. Like my aphids, as you can see, taking about at current build rate, it's about 40 days, I guess. Yeah. So you're at 3 times the rate of me. All right, 6 hours for that to finish. 18 hours. I think I want to do a day launch for this. So cutting it fine. We're launching east, so that's okay. We can launch into the sunrise. 4 hours and 40 odd minutes. All right, let's go ahead and launch. We'll call it Dolphin 0. It's a test article. I don't anticipate having to do more than one of these. No one can fly it. That's expected. To be fair, it's looking like actually having worked on the mod means you do worse in this current round of Race into Space. All right, final check of staging. Main engines, clamps. Hot staging that. Tossing the booster. Tossing the abort tower. Those are the retros there. All right. Then the SM goes away. Capsule RCS begins. And lastly, we pop the nose off. Oh, I didn't put any antennas on it, but I think that's okay. I don't think we really need antennas for low Earth orbit. So we could do polar if we wanted, but I'm not gonna. So we have ludicrous quantities of delta V for this thing. Like 9,700 meters per second. We totally could do polar, and we will, I believe, do polar next time because we want all the biomes ever. So let's go to 32 degrees. A nice number. And let's do a 185 by 185 orbit. Nice nominal 100 nautical miles. I trust that this will not result in any of the interstage fairings being deployed. All right. Lulz. That seems unlikely. That, yeah, that seems a bit much extra, but it's because we haven't actually taken off yet. 1.23. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Omit coast for sure. We took the RCS off the stage because we're not going to coast. All right, let's go. Let me check the contract requirements. Pretty sure I know what they are, but suborbital trajectory above 150 kilometers, greater than 6,500 meters per second. All right, we really should change that to suborbit or orbit, but Alright, that's becoming saner. Blowfish, it seems quite unlikely that it would have been fixed, because what did they expect to do for roll control? I guess they would have used... I guess it would have had onboard RCS, which they would have used for roll control, but it seems strange that they would have gone from using the turbopump exhaust gimbaled on Vanguard to non-gimbaled on Vega. But you never know. Yeah, it would have had RCS anyway for the coast and reignition and all that fun stuff. Figured I'd take a screenshot. I haven't taken a screenshot in forever. But this is a nice looking launch vehicle, as launch vehicles go, I would say. Seconds. Pap, sure, just make the method not do anything when you click it. You talking about the tooling thing? Yeah, just when you click it, if it's already tooled, don't do anything. Hot staging, and there we go. Seamless. Looking good, so let's jettison the tower. "700 meters per second spare on this stage, it looks like it will be. Don't tell me oh. I did. Lulz. I put the decoupler on upside down. That costs slightly more mass. But that's fine. Just as well, because it would have looked open, and FAR may have counted it as open had I done otherwise. Actually, no, FAR would not have counted it as open because the collider's solid for the interstage, even though visually the part has holes. How do we possibly have a crew report despite having no crew aboard? That's just not... Oh, okay, that's why. Blowfish, yeah, I forgot about it for a little bit. But it's not like we lack for capability. Yeah, I usually wait about 5-10 seconds, because in the first 5 seconds, test flight has the higher odds of failure, and then I'll give it another 5 seconds for good luck. But we have plenty of capability on this thing, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we got to pitch down a fair bit because we're going pretty high for that time to orbit, given how much of the stage is going to be unburnt. But we have so much capability. We probably could have done something like 150 by 1,000 if we wanted to. Certainly could have gone polar with plenty to spare. So for the actual launch, we'll go polar. Get all the biomes. Leave them up there for a good few orbits. Coming up on circularization, and nailed it. All right, RCS to on. Goodbye. So how's our contract doing? Now we just have to return home. So let's test out our nice little service module. We can definitely perform on-orbit maneuvers just fine. Looking good. Plenty of delta V. Oh, Pap, since you're on, here's a question. Do you know who changed the capsule so that you can hibernate its avionics? Because that sort of defeats the purpose. Because like right now we're drawing an awful lot of electric charge. But in warp, we are actually charging with the solar panels, which is just wrong. Okay, I guess I'll blame it on RO or something. All right, so that looks all fine to me. So let's do a deorbit burn here. Which I think will result in an Atlantic. Oh no, actually we want to be further than that because the Earth will have rotated some by then. So more like that. And (100 meters per second) retrofire will, well, actually, let's move it around a little more. I really don't want to come in over land. Now I see why people have trajectories installed. Because, boy, it would be nice to actually know. All right. Right. Let's perform the deorbit burn, see what happens. How's that looking? Probably about right. All right, I think that was about 90 meters per second. All right. So let's see how reentry goes. So we want to line up for that. And so let's, oops, align. The SM was always 50% utilization. It's never not been. So what got changed? I mean, if you look at that tank spreadsheet I showed you, it started out at 50%. So not sure what's up with that. But you're right that the volume calculations will be kind of weird because we did the volume calculations for how much the density of the payload, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We did those calculations assuming 100% utilization. Oh, going back to 1.2.2. Oh, yes. No, I take your point. Yeah, so you may want to double the density on stuff and decrease the payload. Now I get what you're saying. All right, so we're approximately well aligned. Let's hope we get some comms at some point in our lives. We do? All right, so let's ditch ourselves a service module. All right, that actually, because I forgot to set the decoupling force to next to nothing, that actually materially affected. Also, why is the... Should have had those stages together. Activate capsule RCS early. All right. Let's do reentry. So there's one more wrinkle, which is coming in with no connection. We can't use action groups. So we should have... What station is... Huh. Man, maybe we're going to land in the Gulf of Mexico. But we should have comms, because we'll probably end up landing right in Florida, because I didn't do this right. If we're going to hit 110 kilometers there. Where does it think we're going to be? 20 kilometers. Yeah, we're coming down in the Gulf of Mexico for sure. Although possibly in like Alabama or Mississippi. All right. My intuitions are off because it's been a year. But we will have comms, so we'll be able to do things properly. Here we go. Spinny, spinny, spinny. Gonna warp up a little bit. Because do not have time for this. Hey, Lamont. So, Lamont, I ran into an issue yesterday. Same deal. Every time I put the main engine on that Doberman in the same stage or below the stage of the separation, MechJeb got confused. So I had to manually hot stage it. No, MechJeb did not eat any rockets tonight. Everything has gone perfectly. Hey, we're in sunlight again. It's a sunrise. Coming into 3 RPM. Three hours before Mars arrival. It's been a busy day for the space program. Yeah, the RO Discord is where everything is. I never remember to sign into IRC, but I'm usually on the Discord. It's so much easier to deal with because like it works fine on a phone and it's pretty and people can post pictures. And everybody's pretty well behaved, partly because we have some awesome moderators. So yeah, that's where it's at. Come say hi. All right, we're officially... Ooh, telemetry analysis. That's new. Because we hadn't been over desert before. Uh, there used to be a public invite link at the top of the RSS subreddit. Okay, cool. Thanks, Pap. And there goes the service module. Our angular velocity has been halved by the atmosphere. Predictions of Gulf of Mexico are looking pretty solid at the moment. But it's plausible we might come down right off the shore of Texas or on the shore of Texas. Or can't really tell where. No, that's still Gulf of Mexico. All right. Yeah, I think it's going to be Gulf of Mexico. Well, that's pretty nice. Piano Josh, I think that actually makes sense. As long as it can only take the payloads, then presumably the customer is supplying their thing, so it's not really fair to charge you for it. On the other hand, the planning option, like I don't think you really gain much from tooling payloads. You do need to tool avionics for sure, but all right, now the hot part is beginning because we came in pretty steep. Probably hit about 8.5, 8 Gs is what my guess. We're coming ballistic. Descent mode is not on. I assume descent mode is not on. It's not on. We can... Oh, right, and when ComNet comes out, we'll have plasma blackout, finally. So I can't do what I've just done. That'll be cool. Six Gs. Seven Gs. Alright, we're gonna hit 8 easily? Nope, 7 and 3/4. Probably be the peak. Yep. Alright. Yep, well, this has descent mode, because it's behaves more like a one-person Gemini than the spam in a can Mercury. I guess we're going to land on the shore of Texas instead of actually out into the Gulf of Mexico. We'll see. Because we're about to go subsonic. All right. Yep, we didn't even make it into the Gulf of Mexico. All right, so going to go ahead and pop chutes, or at least arm them. Why did that solid not ignite? Oh, it apparently did ignite. It just took a second to ignite? That's weird. Who knows? Who cares? We're coming in for landing. Chutes armed. Anything is better than Titan II Gemini on launch in terms of safety. Would you like to be exploded, or would you like your neck broken? I mean, to be fair, like, the only actually survivable thing of any of those three was Mercury. Because if a Saturn ever went up, that abort tower was not going to pull you away in time. Good. I did not wait too long to do that. Scatter is pretty. Okay, gonna pop the drogue. That's interesting artifacts. Oh, you're talking about G-Force? Comparable to Mercury Atlas. I mean, Atlas Mercury at Seco was about 9 Gs. Okay, the main is deployed, and we coast on down. Oh, that's a new button. What does that button do? Filter list to current. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, lulls didn't make it to the Gulf. Pap, I hope you're launching 2 things rather than 1 thing. Well, I hope it builds during the window. How did we do on... we did not use much. Oh yeah, I was going to change that so it would char most of the whole thing. Coming in for landing. Ploop. Contract complete. Congratulations. You got lots of money. Recover. Okay, we get 1 science. We get a fair amount of money. Yes, a fair amount of money. 500K. So, all right, I gotta go to bed. So thank you everybody for watching. And next time, I guess we will go ahead and deal with, oh, well, I guess I'll unlock a few nodes while I'm here, and then I'll go to bed, because I'll forget if I don't know. Let's get that. Serious business guidance, always good to have. But I think what I really want to do is Bipropel, the nitrogen tetroxide AJ10s. That's good to have. Early landing. That'll give us lunar rated heat shields soon. So I think I actually want to do that instead of just more rocket engines. All right. Okay, let's try this again. Thank you everybody for watching. Oh, upgrades. Okay, third time's the charm. Good night.